Is John Gitonga, and I'm the Assistant Director for Communications and Learning and Evaluation Officer at Hope for Ariang Foundation. I have been to South Sudan a couple times, and I'm grateful for the privilege that I have had to go there and interact with the community and see firsthand what their dreams are and how they are meeting them. And today, I'm happy to welcome you to our Vision for a Better World video series so that we can learn a few things as we move on together. In my previous presentation, I asked you about your vision for a better world, and today I want to ask you a question that will help you build on your response to the question. So, what are you doing to achieve your vision for a better world? And we talk about that. We'd like to share with you what you are doing to achieve the vision. In that first presentation, we looked at the challenges, the causes, our response, and outcomes, and we identified the sustainability as the biggest challenge that is facing schools in South Sudan. That means that schools are built, they kick off learning, and they close down in less than a decade. And the causes leading to all these disadvantages include insufficient school funding, ongoing civil wars and insecurity concerns, unmet student needs, weak school leadership and management, and insignificant teacher salaries. And we discussed our first objective that we are implementing to help fill these gaps, which is construction of permanent school structures. And in our response, we built Ariang School on what used to be a resting area for cows, and we welcomed the first group of students in 2011. After welcoming the students, we realized that there were several things that were not working out, and we need to have, which welcomed us to our second objective, which is students and teachers' welfare and support. And what are the needs that we had observed? We had observed that there was a reduced daily attendance in the afternoons and towards the end of the week. Students were walking on barefoot on a very difficult terrain, and there was reduced percentage of girls attending school, including during their dignity days, and teacher burnout in the afternoons, and teachers focusing on side jobs in search for a better living. And you can see in this photo, there is a group of students that is walking to school, and you can see the terrain that they are on, and you can also see that some of them do not have shoes. So as much as we had built a school and we were providing inclusive access to education and opportunities, many students were still held back from accessing it by those adversities. And if that continued, our vision for prosperous and empowered communities of South Sudan would not be realized. And we needed to do something and do it fast because we understood that a school is more than just a building. And so we started our Beyond a Building school response. On the first response was sufficient provision of sufficient and reliable food and water, and by that we continued a timely repair and maintenance of Ariang School boreholes because we have shared with you in the past that water has a direct impact on education for girls. Without water, many girls will not be able to come to school. And the other one was the provision of nutritious meals, and we partnered with World Food Program through World Vision, and we were able to give a nutritious meal to each of our students. You can see a woman here who is preparing lunch, and a group of ladies who have just corrected their lunch. Our second response was a school surprise, and between 2011 and 2019, we had distributed over 20,000 books, pens, and sports equipment. And you can see a little girl here who is so happy for holding a book in her hands. And that's the kind of happiness that education brings to people when they are in school and after education. Our third response was student decency, and in 2018 and 2019, we distributed 3,750 school uniforms and shoes. And the first picture here, you can see a group of students when they first came to school, and you can see they don't have uniforms, and a good number of them do not have shoes. And after our response, this is what our school looked like: decent students with shoes. and school backpacks. And we'd like to recognize Tailored for Education for supporting this project in 2019, where we were able to dress 1,100 students of Ariang School. Our response number 4 was teacher support, and you can see, like in the first picture here, we have a group of teachers posing for a photo after we had given them a decent school wear. This was a need that was expressed by one of the teachers, that they would like to look smart while in school, but did not have the resources to support that for themselves. And another teacher had expressed a need for bikes because he was walking about 10 kilometers to reach Ariang School in the morning, and that affected the quality of education because, like, they were so exhausted, especially in the afternoons. They were productive during the morning hours, and in the afternoon they were so exhausted, and they were not able to teach. So with the bikes, they were able to come to school and prepare for lessons without the worry of what time they will leave school, and because they knew they would reach home safe because of the bikes. And about the salaries, these are a big issue. And there are two groups of people, teachers. We have government teachers and we have volunteer teachers. Um, Government teachers are on the government payroll, even though some teachers can get as low as $25 per month. And volunteer teachers are HFA employed because HFA, we employ gaps in schools, and then we go to the community and identify these talents, and we recruit them so that we can fill these gaps. And by that we mean that by searching for talents, you have also to give them some stipends. Besides that, we also supplement the salaries for these government teachers so that we can create a more uh, fair living wage. Our response number 5 was about menstrual hygiene and management kits, because we had realized that the girls of age were not able to come to school during some days of the month, and they needed our support. And we talked to them during our needs assessment. We identified that this is something that was serious and we needed to address it. So we give them MHM kits and school bags. And let us now look at the value proposition. After all these responses, what came out of that? As much as uniforms are not required in Ariang School, we had noticed that wearing a uniform and decent shoes increased students' decency and dignity. Younger students now take uniforms as the first gift for a student who is starting school. So when they put on their uniforms, they also put on the school learning mentality. They know uniforms. When you wear a uniform, you need to go to school. The second social response proposition was the community increased its commitment to support their kids to access education. The uniforms, the shoes, and the school supplies removed the financial barrier for parents, taking the burden away from their shoulders and as good support. And they were able to talk to their children and ask them to go to school, which was a good thing for us. And also, to our advantage, HFA is more respected and trusted in the community, and the community willingly supports our programs. And we take this reputation as the key resource of driving our mission forward. That is a good thing. Now, let us look now at the outcomes that came out of the responses. We have graduated 347 graduates, and we have had 1,100 students at Ariang with an average daily attendance rate of between 80 to 85%, which is good. And we have close to 50% of boys and girls distribution ratio. When we started in 2011, there was only like 20% 20% girls in the school population, and that was a big bother for us. And after our responses, we were able to increase that number to almost 50-50. And more students are enrolling in school and staying until completion, and some of them have also been able to proceed to high school, which is a good thing. There was this time when so many students were enrolling, but they were dropping out maybe in class 5, 6, or 7, or 8. And that was also giving us a lot of challenges, because we wanted people to access education and be able to realize their full potential in life. And something to do with bikes. Bikes greatly decreased teacher exhaustion, therefore bringing down teacher burnout and increasing classroom productivity. Teachers were able to come very early in the morning and prepare lessons, and then continue focusing on quality instructions. And in the afternoon and after schools, they knew that it would just take them a few minutes to get home using the bikes. So that was also a very good thing, and we are happy because like when we reached out to our supporters to donate to these programs, so many people were able to donate towards the bikes program, and it's good to know that it worked wonders at Ariang School. So that's all I had for you today. And in my next episode, we'll look at the objective number 4, which is equitable education through our feeder program school model. And what does that mean? What is a feeder school model? There are many schools in South Sudan in the area that are not that do not have grades 7 and 8 and even grade 6. And we to complete primary school, they have to go to schools that have those grades, and we have successfully developed that program at Ariang School. So they come to Ariang School, and from there they are able to complete primary school. And our request, you can always be a supporter, and we'd like to show you like how much how you can help. Like with only $15 per month, you can support 15 students with school supplies for a full year. 15 students for $15 a month. Then with 25% per month, you can help supplement teacher salary, probably double that amount, like what he's getting now, and create a more fair living wages. You know, like teachers educate the society, and if we have good teachers, then it means that we can have good knowledge, and we can have knowledge driven companies and leadership. And with $50 per month, you can support 5 girls with MHM kits so that they are able to continue coming to school uninterrupted. Girls belong in school, and supporting them is a good thing. And how can you be able to do that? If you go to our website, hopeforariang.org, then you put /donate hyphen 2, it will take you to our website. Now, this is what our website looks like. There are two options: a PayPal option and a Stripe option. And when you click here, you are able to have a write-up of a few more things that you can help us achieve. And with that, you can also have to subscribe whether one time, monthly, quarterly, and annually. So suppose you want $2, then you click a monthly subscription, and then you can proceed at the next, or you can even choose to custom your amount. So you just click here and then you proceed. And by that, we have made an impact in the lives of many people of South Sudan. For now, bye bye, and we love you very much.